Yo, chef, what are you making today?
Today we're going to be making an Indian style wrap from scratch.
Okay.
The serving size of all the ingredients is found on the left-hand side, along with the calories that the ingredients bring to the recipe. Be sure to change these ingredients to your taste. If you put all the ingredients together correctly, you should end up with something like this.
Well, chef, where do we start?
First, we're going to take a third cup of flour and put it in a big bowl. Then we're going to take some salt and add salt to taste.
Yep.
Then we take a little bit of oil and we pour it in the flour. Then all we gotta do is mix it until all the oil is gone. Then we add water and keep mixing it. We add some more water. And keep adding water until you get to this consistency. Once you get around this consistency, you want to take some oil and pour it on your batter. You also want to take some oil and put it on your hands so the dough doesn't stick to your hands. And then you just want to take everything inside the bowl and just knead it together. Once you have around this consistency in your dough, you want to take it and you want to roll it up into a ball. Once you have a decently circular ball, you want to press it and you just want to let it rest inside your pan for about 15 minutes. Once you're done, you cover up the dough for 15 minutes and let it rest. Now we can go on a walk and stretch our bodies.
Oh. So unfortunately, our first chef lost his leg, and I'll be taking it from here. So I have 1 cup of lettuce, and we're gonna dice it up. So I'm just gonna finish dicing up here. And what we're doing, we're increasing the entropy here, which is just the disorder of things in the universe. So now that we got our lettuce diced up, we'll just move it all to the side and make room for the onion.
So we gotta wear safety goggles for this part. We're gonna chop the onions.
Now we're gonna move the onions to the side.
Wait, why are you crying?
I'm 93 in 10. Now we got our tomato. And now we got our 3 leaves of spinach.
Back.
Now that I'm back, let's get right back to it. You want to take the dough that you left setting out for 15 minutes and you want to roll it up and increase the surface area of it. Increasing the surface area allows me to put more ingredients and it allows the dough to cook faster.
So now we have hash brown here. They initially came out of the freezer, so we're just going to put it in the microwave and cook it up a bit. We'll do it for about 15 seconds. That should be good. So what's occurring in the microwave is it's transferring infrared energy onto the food. It's spreading it over, and the infrared energy it penetrates through the hash browns, causing the fat and water molecules to essentially collide with each other. This is what allows it to cook, and it relates to the collision theory, where you increase the kinetic energy and increases the rate of reaction, or in other words, it increases the chance of collisions happening.
Once you've adequately flattened the dough, you want to move it on the stove and turn the gas on medium heat.
So what's happening here? There are 2 things happening here. First is a process of heat transfer called conduction. So conduction is the heat transfer through direct contact. And what we see here is the stove is in direct contact with our pan. Alright, so the second thing happening here is that by turning on the stove to medium, we gave it the activation energy needed for a process called the Maillard reaction to occur. So breaking that down to simple terms, the Maillard reaction is essentially the rearrangement of the molecules inside our food. So we have amino acids, proteins, which are essentially the same thing, and we also have sugars. And by applying heat to the food, we're giving it the energy needed for the Maillard reaction to occur, and it essentially rearranges the molecules inside there, and that's what gives it the distinct full taste, color, odor, and essentially the brown spots that you'll be able to see on the food. And one more thing that's happening is related to collision theory and activation energy. So by applying heat, we're giving the energy required for either collisions to actually occur. It's increasing the rate of the reaction. And the second thing is this process is endothermic, and we'll be able to see later by the brown spots. And we're also giving it heat. So the system is taking the heat from the surroundings, which is a stove, and it's using it for the reaction to occur.
You know your roti is cooked when there's bubbles forming. Once you see the bubbles forming, what you want to do, you want to slide the roti off. You want to turn the heat to high. You want to take this roti, pick it up, and you want to put it on the grill. Once it's on the grill, you will see that the roti is puffing up and making air bubbles. This is happening due to the water inside of the dough evaporating and getting trapped inside the roti.
While we were making it, what happened was the water that was trapped inside here actually turned into gas. So that's the change of state that's occurring in there. And since liquid is less disordered than gas, we actually have an increase in entropy here. So now we're just cooking the hash browns on the stove. And again, this is the heat transfer from conduction. Since our pan right here, our grill, is in direct contact with the hash brown, it's transferring heat.
On this hash brown, you can see orange marks. These orange marks are actually an evidence for the Maillard reaction occurring. These orange marks signify that the Maillard reaction is endothermic and it's absorbing the heat from the stove. After you put your hash brown on your roti, you want to take 1/6 of a cup of honey sriracha and you want to just lay it on top of the roti and make sure to cover as much space as possible. Next, you're going to be putting about 1 tablespoon of honey chili sauce on top of your wrap. This is your honey mustard sauce, and you're going to put 1 tablespoon of it on your wrap. You're going to take your 1 cup of cheese and pour it all over your wrap to make sure it's cheesy and delicious. Want to take all the vegetables that you chopped up and you want to just lay them on top of your cheese. And to garnish it off, you just want to place your 3 leaves of spinach. And that is your end result. As you can see, we have some leftover vegetables due to preference choices. You can always choose to alter the recipe and change the amount of lettuce, onions, or tomatoes you like to put in your wrap.
Right now, what we're going to do, we're just going to wrap it up. Another thing you could have done here is increase the surface area more, and that'll allow you to cook your food faster without it actually changing the taste. Another thing you could have done is turn up the heat like just a bit, and not too much, or else it'll burn, and that also could have increased it more. All right, so now we're just gonna quickly put our meal, and we're gonna have a taste tester.
So we have a volunteer here who wants to really eat this food, and
I did not consent
eat
to
it.
this. How's the food, man? Try it. Try it. It's good.
Guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys learned how to make a nice wrap and learn some chemistry. And one more thing, don't kidnap people.